Hey y'all, it's Sandy with Little House on Metairie. Welcome to my home. If you are new here, I just wanted to quickly introduce myself and welcome you. And if you are coming back to visit my channel again, thank you so much. I am so excited today to be doing another Christmas 2023 Decorate With Me here at Little House on Metairie. Today's video, I'm going to be decorating our main living room's Christmas tree. This is the room where I do a little bit more traditional, whereas in our family room, I could do a lot more kid-friendly and fun in there. So in here, I like to do it a little bit more classy and elegant. So that is what we are going to do today. And I love decorating a Christmas tree so much. When we went artificial about 2 years ago, I was a little sad because I loved real trees. We were always raised with traditions of going and get a Christmas tree, so it was a little hard decision to me, but now that I've gone artificial, I will never go back. It is so much simpler. The ornaments actually stays on the branches. You don't have to worry about them flopping over, watering it. You are a person who still is embracing a real tree. I totally understand and can appreciate that. So don't get upset with me. But I know for us, it was a transition that did not take me long to overcome. One of the things I did when I got a real tree was decided I was gonna leave it up year round because I absolutely love twinkling lights. It just always makes me so happy. I've decorated this tree for 2 years throughout the different holidays. I'll put some pics if I can find them here. But today I'm ready to decorate this beauty for Christmas. So I've already done part 1 here in the living room where I decorated our fireplace mantle. So if you haven't watched that, I'll link that video right here so that you can go watch it. This will be part 2, and in part 3, I will be decorating the remaining parts of this living room. So I hope that you come back and visit me if you would like to see the whole room all decorated for Christmas. So without further ado, friends, let's get to decorating. Last year I did presents on the top of the tree, and this year I wanted to stick with the nativity scene and church themes. So I decided to go and try this star. So Debbie from Your Home, Your Happy Place, thank you so much if you're watching this for giving me this awesome idea. She had decorated this behind her nativity scene, and I thought it was so beautiful. I wanted to see if my husband could remove it, and he was able to do that so that I can use it as a tree topper. Another YouTuber had just used this candle wreath holder as its own, so I am incorporating both, but I'm so sorry I can't source the other YouTube channel because I've watched so many and I can't remember who came up with this really creative idea. So when I decorate a Christmas tree, I like to start at the top. So the reason why I like to do that is for 2 reasons. Number one, once you have everything all beautiful and set on the body of the tree, you don't want to have to lean in and fix a topper. So that's why I like to do the top first. And secondly, it kind of, to me, sets the tone for the rest of the tree. So it's kind of like getting your hair all done when you're all dressed up. Just added 2 candles. I need to go get 2 more, but in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and secure the star in the center, and I'm just using a zip tie to attach it to the tree. Although I think this looks absolutely beautiful on its own, I did decide just to add a few of these gold picks behind the star. So the last thing I'm going to do is fill in a few of these pearl picks behind the star, and then I'm going to put the last 2 candles, and we'll be all done with the tree topper. Next step I like to do is just to add some depth and dimension to the tree, and I do this by tucking in some larger balls or ornaments really deep inside near the trunk. So what this does is draw your eye deeper inside the tree, so everything's not just dangling and dimensional on the outside. So that's what I'm doing here. I am a little disappointed realizing that a lot of my lights are not working. So it's too late to worry about that right now. I'm ready to decorate this tree, so we're just gonna roll with it, and I'll have to doctor it up after Christmas. So if you like to add ribbon to your tree, this would be the next step that I like to do, because you can just kind of place it where you want before filling in with picks or ornaments or all the things. So I found this beautiful ribbon at Walmart this year. I was so impressed with the quality of it. It was a very good price. It looks high end. So if you're adding ribbon to a tree, there's really no right or wrong way to do it. There's so many different methods. Since I have a beautiful top already to the tree, I just want to start with some simple loops and cascade them down the tree. So I'm making sure I have cut floral wire, which is how I attach the ribbon. You want to cut it pretty long. That way you can wrap it around the ribbon and then also have enough space to add it to a tree branch like you would an ornament. So I cut it a good length, maybe about the size of my hand. And then next I take the ribbon, and you can do however many loops as you like. I am going to start with 4 at the top here. But the main thing is just to make sure the loops stay the same size. That's really important. And I just hold it within my fingers as I make the loops and keep it all together before I scrunch it up like this. I do like an accordion style or like a fan. And then I get my floral wire and I just start wrapping it around the ribbon. So once the wire is secure, by wrapping it around a couple of times, making it tight, so that way when you manipulate the ribbon how you want it, it'll stay put. So I just take my fingers like this and I just separate them and poof them out. And then you can do this different ways. I can show you how to do it like I'm doing it forward and backwards like this. You can keep it all in one single line and just kind of fluff it up that way. Again, like I said, there's no right or wrong way. I'm just showing you 2 different ways, but I'm just going to keep it pretty much straight like this when I add it to the top of the tree. And then I just let the ribbon drop to the floor. I don't pre-cut it. That way I don't waste any ribbon, and I can just kind of attach it to the tree and then decide after that how long I want the tails. Now I'm ready to take the ribbon and attach it to the tree. I'm not using ribbon as a topper, so I'm starting right underneath it, and then I'll just kind of go diagonally down the tree with my ribbon. So I just take the wire and attach it to an inner branch. So if you have an artificial tree, you'll notice that there's cheaper branches that are deep within the base, and those are the ones that I use to secure the wire. If you have a real tree, of course, you would just want to find the most sturdiest branch to do this step, and you just loop it around to make it secure, and then you just kind of move the ribbon how you like it, and then you can make as many tails as you like. I like to leave a big poof, and I apologize you can't see because the entertainment center was in the way, but I promise I'll give you some better close-ups further down the tree so you can see what I'm doing better. And then I'm going to just cut the ribbon in half to make a tail. So now we're just going to repeat the process, but this time I'm going to make a 3-loop bow. So I'm just cutting the ribbon in half again like this to make the tail, and then I'm leaving a little piece again as the tail, and then I'm going to start making my loops. And again, like I said, this one will be 3 loops. I'm going to do 1, and then I'm going to secure it within my fingers again. And then again, the key is to make sure all the loops are the exact same size. I just kind of double check to make sure. And then after I have that, I'm going to take my hands and then make again an accordion style to fold it to attach the wire. As this ribbon is really thick and I'm making really big loops, Again, I want to make sure I cut some really long wire. If your ribbon, of course, is smaller or maybe more thinner, you can make a much smaller one. This one is requiring a lot more because it's very thick, like I said, and very well made ribbon. So I'm doing the exact same thing. Once I secure the wire on it, just by turning it a couple of times to secure it tightly, then I can manipulate the bow how I like it. And I just want these to be really poofy. Again, like I said, just like I did for the top one, and then we'll go attach this one to the tree. And don't forget to stick that tail up before going attach it. And again, I'm leaving the ribbon just drooped to the floor to make sure I don't waste any and make sure it's exactly how I want the tail to be. So because this one was diagonal down the top to the little bit to the left side, I'm going to start here on this side of the tree. And again, I'm grabbing that deep branch within the base of the tree, and then I'm going to wrap it around really secure to the wire to make sure that when I pull on the ribbon, it doesn't fall out, and it's really secure, and I can manipulate the ribbon how I like it. The next step is to decide how many tails that you want it cascading down the tree. So again, I'm going to mimic just like I did at the top. I'm going to make one big loop, and I just take my hand and just kind of slide it within. You don't want it super tight. You want it to look like a big poofy loop like I'm doing. So just take your hand and stretch out that loop as far as you can, and then take it deep within the tree and tuck it inside again with that cheaper branch on the inside. And then you can make as many as you want. And then once you decide how many loops that you want cascading down, then you take that tail again and you cut it in half. Because this is really good quality ribbon and I'm at the end of the tree, I'm going to show you how to make a really fun ornament with the ribbon. It's so simple. You just take it and you roll it up like that with your fingers, like you would a crescent roll. And then when you're done, you just take the middle ribbon inside that you started rolling, and you're just going to slowly pull it down to make a little curly loop like this, and then your ribbon just becomes a beautiful ornament. Show you one more time and make it a little bit tighter, so you can do it loose or tight. It's kind of your preference, but I just think that these are so cute to do, like I said, when you have ribbon, especially at the end of the tree when you don't want to necessarily place an ornament because it's kind of heavy down at the bottom and it would dangle kind of oddly. This is a perfect way to make it look really cute at the bottom of your tree. Now let's make one more 3-loop bow. We're just going to do the same process. So usually at the bottom of the tree you can make 2 and 1 loop, even 1 loops down here, but I'm going to keep it a 3-loop because I'm only going to add a 3 of this beautiful ribbon to the tree, and I want it to show up, so I'm going to add another 3-loop one, and then we're just doing this exact same process, putting a tail, and then I'm at the end of the spool for the ribbon, so I did not leave a tail this time. This is all I have left, but I'll show you a trick of how to add the ribbon, just kind of tucking it in, making it look like one long piece again. So let's do that really quick. You see how I diagonally went all the way down, and then I'm going to zigzag back on this end. Again, like I said, I ran out of ribbon, so I'm just making a fake tail and making it look like one piece. I'm taking it and I'm tucking it really deep within the tree, making it look like it's extending from the loops here. Sliding my hand again in the back of the ribbon to make a really big loop. You don't want it tight, all tucked inside the tree. You want to take your hand and make it a big loop before tucking it again deep within the tree, attaching it with those inner branches. We're going to make one more spiral tail like a crescent roll again, just to show off this beautiful ribbon as an ornament. So now I'm ready to add a second layer of ribbon. This one is a little bit more cheap ribbon, but I still love the color of it. It's pre-made because I've already made it a couple of years ago, and I'm going to add it to my tree again, but you make it the exact same way as we did the first ribbon. So I'm now going to attach it in between the zigzag of the first ribbon and the second one that I put. Again, there is no right or wrong way to add ribbon, but I like to just go in a zigzag diagonal. It just draws your eye down the tree tree beautifully. So that's why I'm placing it right here. And then I like to do sometimes 2, 3, and even 4 different kind of ribbons on trees. To me, again, it just brings such depth and beauty to it. I like to choose a more bold pattern, or like the gold one, or a plaid, and then a solid one that matches really well with it. And then a translucent, clear, shiny one is usually my top 3. To me, they just play off each other nicely, and having the 3 different colors and dimensions just again draws your eye to the tree in different ways. So this is the ribbon that I had last year, and I'm going to go ahead and reuse it, but you make it the exact same way. But this one is the shiny one, and I am going to just kind of tuck it here and there in between the gold and the solid color one. So I had used these last year also, and I'm going to add them back again because I'm using the same satin ribbon on my mantle and then other areas in my living room. So I am going to put those back on the tree, and they were very simply tied, just like you would tying a shoe into a knot, and then I just secured the wire around it and then secure it directly to the branch. Also made some of these more sheer ones a couple of years ago, so I'm going to add these as well to the tree. I finished adding the bows, but I wanted to quickly show you how to make it. So you literally just tie it in a knot like you would your shoes, and then you can adjust the loops how big and small you want them just by pulling on the tails or pulling on the bow loops. And then once you get it to the desired look that you're wanting, you simply take the wire, wrap it around, and then go attach it to the tree. After I add the ribbon, I like to add all of my floral picks. And these all came from different stores, some Michael's, Hobby Lobby. So I like to shop around for picks and get them at a really deep discount or on clearance. So Hobby Lobby, of course, always has their 50% off. So that's the only time I buy any kind of florals or picks. And then any other stores that have sales or clearances, that's when I go collect my picks for the different seasons. So Christmas is no different. I usually shop outside of the Christmas aisles. If there's a sale, especially during holidays, you can usually buy some really great clearance picks that are not in the exact holiday that you are celebrating or decorating for. So that's just a tip. So now I'm adding all of my beautiful poinsettias. Again, I don't get the same ones. I usually just grab what's on sale, or I like to get them in bundles because you can use a lot of them for a lot cheaper price. I just use wire cutters and make picks out of them. Or sometimes I do buy the singles like this one because they're just so beautiful, but I only, again, buy them at clearance. So as you see, I'm using different ones of styles, textures, and colors. As long as it matches color-wise, I'm okay with having different poinsettias. To me, again, it brings lots of depth and dimension to your tree. Another tip I like to do is taking several picks. Usually they'll come, just one, and it's not a lot. So I will take 3 or 4 of them and bunch them together, and then just take the pick wire that's already on each pick and use one of them to wrap around all of them to make a larger pick from them. And then I like to just tuck them throughout the tree. I'll show you different ways like I'm doing right here. Again, I'm just wrapping it around, and then I like to just go sometimes into the tree where it's hanging diagonally off of a branch, and then sometimes I just like to tuck it in like this to where it's just kind of dancing off of the tree just slightly. So I like to take those picks and stick them very differently, up, down, sideways into the tree again to give it lots of movement and texture. Continue to add and build different picks. Again, I get these on clearance, and normally I'll buy them in really big bunches and then clip them again with wire cutters to make single picks, because again, I like to make my own, and then sometimes I'll take different ones and add them together again for different uniqueness and depth. Now, the fun part of choosing which ornaments to attach to this year's tree. Each year I like to add some kind of ornament that reminds us of our loved ones who has passed on, and that we want to remember each Christmas season. At least for our family, that means a lot to us. And it just brings us joy and peace just knowing that they're still here with us. Those are always a non-negotiable special ornaments that we like to add to our living room and our family room tree, just to again remember those who are no longer with us to celebrate in person, but here with us in spirit. Now I'm just choosing ornaments that will match the theme that I'm going for in this room this year, which is churches, trees, and nativity scenes, and then any ones that will match color-wise: white, gold, champagne, or even some brown tones. So I had bought these beautiful gold stars from Walmart this year, and then the white and the more neutral tan color came from Hobby Lobby. These beautiful gold angel wings that came from Walmart this year. Another tip is I like to switch out the flimsy little ribbon or whatever little hanger that they come with these ornaments, and switch it to the wired ones, because for two reasons. Number one, it helps to manipulate the ornament how you want it to hang or dangle, or even if you want it to be up higher onto the branch, you're able to manipulate it that way. And secondly, you can secure it a lot better than the little flimsy little hangers. So with the smaller balls and ornaments, I'm choosing them with different textures, styles, and colors. So I'm choosing some that are velvet. These are striped. And then again, I'm just placing these all around the tree. I like to use them in bundles of either 4 or 3. Sometimes even I'll do odd numbers of 5. But as long as you are kind of putting them in like a diamond shape or diagonally down the tree. And then again, I like to dangle these on the outside. With the larger balls, I like to tuck them deep within the tree to draw your eye in, but then you want to bring some movement to the outside of the tree, and this is a great way to do that by dangling these balls on the outer branches. Now I want to dangle these beautiful ornaments that I thrifted this year. So now I'm ready to add candles to our tree. I love incorporating candles because it just brings such warmth and beauty to a tree. And I had some that had the gold handles for years, but I used them probably over 10 years, so they're no longer working. So I did have to buy some more, and these are a little bit more bright LED. I couldn't find any of the softer ones, so I'm going to keep looking each year until I find the ones that I hopefully had a couple of years ago to replace. Last thing I'm adding to the tree is these beautiful churches. They're really small, but they came in a pack of 3, and I wanted them to show up, so that's why I waited to add them here last. And then I'm going to save some other packs to add throughout the living room. So this again is a part 3 video. I did part 1 where I decorated our mantle for Christmas, and then this is part 2 where I did our tree, and then I'm adding part 3, which is where I decorated the rest of our living room. So it's all done, but I wanted to separate them into parts of 1, 2, and 3 so that the videos did not get too long. So for the finishing touch at the bottom of the tree before we add presents, I want to put this joy sign, and I'm making just a really mini bow with a satin ribbon to attach some cedar picks together, and then I'll give you a close-up look of how it all turned out. I think it's so beautiful, and I love the addition with the churches and the stars this year. So if you have not done so already, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. It's absolutely free and it will ensure that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. So let me know what your favorite part of the tree was. Do you like to add ribbon, or do you like just to keep it traditional and just put sentimental or ornaments that were handmade, or do you go all out with picks and ribbon and all the things? I would love to know how you decorate your Christmas tree. So much fun decorating our Christmas tree with you all. It's always such a pleasure to do this here on YouTube with such amazing people. And let me know that you stop by for a visit and come back and visit me here at Little House on Metairie. We have lots more decorating to do. Until next time, friends, bye for now.